This is my problem. Let's get started. Okay. Anyway, this is what you have to do when for your presentation. Although you don't need to highlight everything for your what is it, handout, you have to make this. So once again, I made this one clear last Tuesday. So in terms of preparation for your presentation, you have to choose one Old Testament passage, and then you need to provide all the information in relation to the Bob analysis, and then the final translation. It should be your own. You don't need to, I mean, you are not supposed to just copy YLT or KJV. So you need to show me and your classmates that you did it. Okay. So number one, analyze all the verbs and then put the translation. Okay. But for your presentation, you don't need to let us know everything in terms of analysis of all the verbs, but you need to highlight some specific verbs that deserves our attention. Okay. In terms of the form. Okay. So quickly highlight if you can see anything significant. If you cannot find, just provide the analysis table and the final translation. Number two, the second section is what? Syntax. So you need to consult all your textbooks, okay? But you don't need to look at Murauka. Just pay attention to two books, Jessenius and Waltz and O'Connor. So whatever is appearing from the chosen passage, and as a reference, you need to deal with them, include everything. But in your presentation, okay, when you submit your assignment to me, you have to include everything. But when you prepare your presentation, then you need to select some important information, okay, so that you can be effective enough in your doing presentation. Do you know what I'm saying? So whatever syntactical issues influence your exegesis, then I want to see you delivering or presenting the idea clearly, okay? And that is the second portion. And then the third portion is what? Syntactical analysis, which that we are working on right now. So just provide your diagramming, okay? Highlight several things and then put the titles of each section so that we can see that the main title and subtitles, right? And then the last one is what? Textual criticism. Also, you need to provide all the information dealing with what is written in textual apparatus. Okay, so for your assignment to be submitted to me, you have to include everything. But once again, when it comes to your class presentation, you just select, some portions of your assignment which are important. Do you understand? Is that clear? And the last one, it's important. After doing these four aspects, what am I supposed to hear from you? Maybe you can tell us what you have realized through your research. Doesn't need to be really long one, very brief one, but you need to let us know about how those studies have affected you in order for you to get the final idea of the specific passage. So if you can include something like the different approach and the different insight that you've got, that is different from your former understanding, and then the new insight that you just got through your study. If you can highlight those things as the final and conclusive remarks, I think that will be great. Do you have any question about your presentation?
Sir, is there any minimum number or the number of the passages or verses we have to make?
I think that's a good question. It's a little bit harder to answer, but I think it should be more than 10 at least. Okay? Right. You don't need to deal with the whole chapter, which is about 40 verses. If you can be, what is it, sure about how many main passages do you have in a chapter. Let's say Psalm 103 consists of 3 main parts, and that is about, I don't know, but just for example, let's say 50 verses, then you can say that, okay, I can divide this whole chapter into 4 sections. You can focus on only one section, which is about 10 to 20. So let's say 10 to 20, maximum 20, minimum 10 verses. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Any more question?
Yes, sir. Is Walton O'Connell, are they on any other Bible software? I had to delete Bible Works.
Oh,
It put a virus on my laptop.
oh my goodness. Okay. When it comes to the necessity of using your Bible Works, it has something to do with your syntax. As long as you can get information from Walter O'Connell and Cassie News, actually you don't need to use your Bible Works. But the question is, how can you get the textbook? Maybe I don't know, to be honest. Because anyway, here's just if I need to answer your question, that is my answer. You need to do the syntax part utilizing 2 books. So that is the question. So I'm not really saying that you really need Bible Works as long as you can get those 2 books. But the thing is, even if I want to help you providing some scanned image, it's not really appearing from certain portion. You need to always go back to check the reference information and go to specific parts. It deals with all different pages. So it's a bit tricky. So let's talk about it later because it seems like it's quite a personal issue. But if some of our students, classmates can help you with this, then it will be good too. So if they can just give you the clean, what is it, screenshot of the pop-up for the reference, then it will be good for you because you can simply read it. Okay. So let's talk about it later, Pierce. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. You know what? Actually, we are going to have accreditation visit, and it will be done online. And it's most likely they are going to have a chance to uh, get our class, okay, as observation, and it will be evaluated. So gonna be 2 classes like Greek class and Hebrew classes because that's the only available schedule. So it's most likely they will be able to look at us. And then I realized that that's March 8th or 9th. What day is it?
It's Monday.
It's supposed to be
Tuesday.
Tuesday, right?
Yes.
It's March 9. Yeah, so March 9. So those who are scheduled to do your presentation on that day, you need to be ready. Okay? The school reputation is totally dependent on you. All right? So I'm just giving you a little notice. Anyway, yeah. So you will be given 30 minutes for your presentation. So you need to really practice so that you can finish your presentation within 30 minutes. So be very efficient in dealing with necessary information. But when it comes to submission of your assignment to the class, you need to include every single information, okay, for the whole passage. But for the preparation of your presentation in the classroom, be specific and very selective and efficient to focus on important issues. That's it. All right, if you don't have any further questions, then let me go back to the syntactical analysis of some. One more time, when you are doing your syntactical analysis of your, chosen passage, you have to do it in Hebrew. So the way I provide you my own work, I use a table, right? Analysis table. Do you remember? I think that's going to be a good idea for you to use it too. Okay? Something like this. Let me show you. So this is what I use. Do you remember? Another thing. Where are you? Perhaps this. Yes, this one. Do you remember this? So you can see that the main clause, the secondary clause, and subordinate clauses. So you need to start from verse and then put the main clauses. And this one will help you to see which one belongs to main, which one belongs to second and third. And then if you can put the title of each contents, then that will be good. All right. So if you don't remember this, please go back to the specific lesson of this session, and you will get some idea. Okay, we have Chompi. Welcome, Chompi. You can stay with me after this class so that you can take the quiz. Okay. All right. Let's do this. So one more time. So do not fret. Be not envious. So they are all dealing with the same level of idea. And then it goes and it belongs to these two main clause. So it is providing the reason. So we can consider this one as a subordinate idea. For as grass speedily they cut off, and as the greenness of tender grass do fade. So I think this one is same line as grass and it's a greenness, right? So the idea is the main verb is they are cut off and then you fade, but like grass and then like the greenness of the tender grass. That's the idea. Okay, so looking at these 4 sentences, what can you get? So the main idea, do not fret because of evildoer, and then be not envious against doers of iniquity. So these 2 ideas, they are the main idea. But then these 2 ideas appearing in the verse 2 is providing us why. Okay, and let's move on in verse 3. Trust in Jehovah. So how do you think? Is it first level or second level? How do you think? First, you're right. And then do good first. Dwell in the land. They are dealing with the same level and enjoy faithfulness. Good. What about verse 4? And delight yours thyself on Jehovah. Is it first or second? First. And he gives to thee the petition of your heart. What about this one?
Second.
Second. You are doing good job. Very impressive. Yes. So, and delight yourself on Jehovah, and it will happen. Okay. So there is a strong relationship between these two. So the second one belongs to the first. Can you see that? You're doing good job. What about Lord on Jehovah thy way? This YLT seems like a KJV. I think it's a KJV. Let me just quickly double check. Okay. Oh, it's YLT. Yeah, so it's okay. Let's move on. Okay, Lord on Jehovah thy way. How do you think?
First.
First. And trust upon him.
First.
First. And he works.
Second.
Second. So yeah, what is it? Lord on Jehovah thy way, and trust upon him, and he will work. So if you do these two things, and he will do this. That's the idea. All right. So this and he works is secondary subordination. All right, and has brought out as light your righteousness. How are you going to do this? Has brought out as light your righteousness. It's very tricky. The English is a bit hard. Minute. I'm just considering other aspects too. Okay, so I think, and he works what? So what is following in verse 6 is referring to what he works for. So I need to say this belongs to the third level. Okay, so you can see that roll on Jehovah your way and trust upon him. Then he will work what? So he works belongs to the second level and has brought out as light thy righteousness belongs to the third level. Are you following me?
Yes.
But anyway, although you can generally agree with me, it doesn't need to be the textbook answer. Okay, because it totally depends on your analysis as well. So this is an exemplary work. So just for information, but if you agree with me, that's good. So he will work what? He will brought your righteousness as light, and he will bring the justice as noonday. So they belong to the same level. Are you following me? Okay, let's move on. What about be silent for Jehovah and stay thyself for him? How do you understand this then?
First level.
First level, right. So this one, and stay thyself for him. Do not fret because of him who is making prosperous his way. So who is dealing with a sentence, so it should be a second level, right? So who is making prosperous his way? So who is modifying him? So maybe you can just, since this one is modifying him, you can just put who right beneath him. It doesn't necessarily refer to the second level, but it gives us the idea of the modification, a clarification. And how are we going to analyze this part? Who is making prosperous his way because of a man doing wicked device? How are you going to do this?
Professor,
Yes?
can we, go back one line, then, put like the because to the because, because of him who is making prosperous his way, and because of a man doing wicked devices, these two seem to be parallel. So yeah. So
Okay, so you try to see that since we have because of, and then here, because of him. Is this what you're trying to say?
yes.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Mm.
But I think it definitely deals with the biblical Hebrew, so you need to make sure that it is modified by the same component in terms of the Hebrew. Let's check it then. But how are you going to do this then? Then I think you need to put this one in the same level here. Because of a man, so because of him. So you need to then specify because of him and because of a man, so that we can see the same line here. So the idea is do not fret because of him. So do not fret is still modified by this praise again, because of a man doing wicked device. I think it makes sense. So then you can do this like this. I think this one makes better sense. Amos, you did a good job. I think I like it. Okay. So then you can see that do not fret because of him. Who is he? Who is making prosperous his way? Do not fret because of a man who is doing wicked devices. I think it makes and it gives us a clear idea. Okay, you are becoming a great Hebrew scholar. Thank you. Okay, then let's move on. What about verse 8 then? How are I going to do it? Is it, this is from anger, first level or second level?
First.
Yes, first. You're right. Okay, let's do this. This one, it says first and same. Fret not thyself, want to do evil. So 4. So you can see that this one belongs to first or second?
Second.
Second, because it deals with the reason. So this is from anger and forsake fury, fret not thyself only to do evil. For because evildoers are cut off. Okay, so why do we need to do this? Okay, this is from anger and forsake fury, fret not. Why? Because evildoers are cut off. That's the idea.
Could
And
you
then
put
what?
only to do evil for second and move for evildoers are cut off as third?
That's a good idea too. It depends on how you can do. So you are saying that, Samson, that because it's only to do evil. So you say that, okay, this is from anger and forsake fury and friendness yourself, because only to do this, only to do evil. You say this is the secondary main idea. And then these 4 provide the third level of clarification. I think that works. I think that's a good idea too. Let's do that then. For evildoers are cut off, as to those waiting on Jehovah, they possessed the land. So is this belonging to for evildoers are cut off, or the same level? So then if this is different, then where does it belong to? I think it provides a comparison between the evildoer's life and then the righteousness' life. So we can see that they are parallel. Can you see it? So they are on the same level, but still belong to this idea. All right? So we need to desist from anger, forsake fury, fret not ourselves, because it is all about what? Only to do evil. And as a specific clarification explanation, for evildoers are cut off, and those who are waiting on Jehovah, they will possess the land. That's why we needed to desist from anger, forsake fury, fret not ourselves. Are you following me? All right, that's good. What about, and yet a little, and the wicked is not. Thou hast considered his place, and it is not. So do you think this one belongs to the main idea, or still belongs to the second or third of these? How do you think? I think these are dealing with subordinated idea that belongs to this. So when we are talking about evildoers are cut off, and then the righteous will possess the land, this idea is still the same. The weak is not, has a considered, it is not. So what is the English translation? I think 10. It's like, a little while, the wicked will be no more. Though you look for them, they will not be found. So the idea of being cut off is specifically further described by this. So I want to put this one at the fourth level. Okay? Because the main idea or bigger idea of verse 10 is verse 9. So it provides us the detailed explanation about the concept that evildoers are cut off, and then the righteous will possess the land. As the subordinated explanation, it provides a little while, and yet a little, and the wicked is not, so they will not be here. Thou has considered his place. So this one belongs to even this. Although you will try to look at them, his place, the wicked is not, and it is not. So I think it provides the first level of idea. What about the humble? So if this one provides the first level of idea of the riddle, the weak, and then this one provides the idea of humble and righteous. So the humble do possess the land. See, so as to those waiting on Jehovah, they will possess the land. So still it is under the concept. So I want to say, so this one should be parallel to the wicked, and then under the main idea of evildoer and the wicked. Are you following me? So this one belongs to it. And they have delight themselves in the abundance of peace. The humble to possess the land, and they have delight themselves in the abundance of peace. So you can see the comparison between two elements here, the life of the wicked, and then the life of the righteous. Can you see it? And then also the wicked is devising against the righteous. Where does it belong to? First, second, third. How do you think? I think it doesn't belong to the first level. So it should be either the third, because it provides the idea of, it's kind of a comparison between the wicked and then the righteous. So it still continues to describe the life of the wicked. So I want to put this one here as a parallel on the third level against the righteous. And then they sing against him, his this same idea. What about the Lord's does left at him? So here it still deals with the concept. The reason why we needed to desist from anger, forsake fury, fret not thyself. So I think it belongs to the third level in parallel with the evildoer and then those who are waiting for God. And you can see that the Lord is doing something in parallel on the same level. The Lord does left at him. And you can see the 4, so it provides another subordinated idea that belongs to the Lord does left at him. See? So this one, 4, is providing subordinate information to the Lord does left at him. What about this? A sword have the wicked open. So what about in 14? The wicked is devising against the righteous and gnashing against him his teeth. I think this one, it depends on you, but I want to say this idea deals with the concept of the wicked devising against the righteous. So I want to put it under the description of the wicked is devising against the righteous, not as the same level to verse 12. And they have trodden their bow to cause to fall. So this one provides another subordinated modification. So you can see that 2 codes and 2 slow. So they belong to the same clause. Okay? So what about this? Their sword does enter into their own heart. So this one, a sword have the wicked open, but their sword does enter into their heart. So must be on this level. Okay? And their vows are shivered. So this one on the same level. So I think this one belongs to then this line. The wicked is 4 evildoers are cut off, and those who are waiting for Jehovah will inherit the land. The wicked is devising against the righteousness, but the Lord slept at him because of this. And you can say that better is the leader of the righteous than the store of many wicked. So I think this one provides another bigger level of the idea. And it provides for the arms of the wicked. So we can see that this is another subordinate idea. The arms of the wicked are shivered, and Jehovah is sustaining. So it should be on this line. What about verse 18? Jehovah knows the days of the perfect, and their inheritance is to the age. I think, so better is the little, and maybe you can just put as the 3rd level here, or even 4th level. So Jehovah knows the day of the perfect, and their inheritance is to the age. Same level. They are not ashamed in a time of evil. So, and in the days of famine, they are satisfied. Maybe it deals with days of the perfect, and then the days of the age. So they are not ashamed in the time of evil. So probably it deals with another subordinate idea in terms of what is going on in verse 18. Like this. But the wicked perish, the enemies of Jehovah. Maybe then this one as the same level of third level should be the wicked perish and the enemy of Jehovah, as the preciousness of lambs have been consumed. So this one is another subordination. It provides they will perish. How? As the preciousness of the lamb. Okay? Have been consumed. In smoke they have been consumed. So this one is same. The weak is borrowing and repaid. So should be on this level. And the righteous, come on. And the righteous is gracious and giving. For his blessed ones to possess, so should be subordination because of for. And his reviled ones are cut off. Here. From Jehovah are the steps of a man, they have been prepared, and his way he desires. So how are we going to put this one then? Same level. I want to put it. But if you find something from here at this level, as if they belong to maybe the first idea, then you can do it. But from my analysis, it deals with the reason why we need to desist from anger and forsake fury. So what you can see from verse 9 to 23 is all about the reason why we stop fretting ourselves. And then it provides the comparison between the wicked life and then the life of righteousness, righteous people. And interestingly, you can see that the evildoers are here, and then those who are waiting for God, the righteous people, are here. But in the same level, Jehovah is somehow described. His action is described. Let me show you another thing. I think I made this for you, and then I consulted, I think this is NIV. I just want to highlight, wait. Look at this. Let's just start from the beginning. As you can see that, let's just pay attention to the first level, the idea of first level. So it says, do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong. Okay? You don't need to move on to the subordinated idea. And let's just follow. Trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, commit your way to the Lord, trust in him. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret, but refrain from anger and turn from wrath. Do not fret. Why? Because it leads only to evil. And as a further explanation, verse 9 to 24, it provides the comparison between the evil man and the wicked. All right? And then you can see that the third party, who is the Lord, is intervening, right? So I highlight the evil man in red and the Lord in, no. Those who are waiting for the Lord in blue and the Lord in green. So then let's try to understand what belongs to this idea. Here, 4 evil men will be cut off. Those who, and let's just focus on the evil man, okay? 4 evil men will be cut off. The wicked plot against the righteous. The wicked borrow and do not repay. But those he curses will be cut off. So that's the idea. What about the righteous? But those who hope in the Lord will inherit the land. And the righteous give generously. Those the Lord bless will inherit the land. He will not fall. This is the idea. What about the Lord? The Lord laughs at the wicked and he makes his steps. The Lord makes his step firm. So I think you can just clearly understand what the evildoers are doing, and then the righteous are doing, and what the Lord is doing here. Can you see it? So somehow in verse 9 and through 24, you can see the reason why. This is my own analysis, but if you can find those idea in verse 9 to 24 as the secondary idea or first idea that should be compared to those main verbs, then you can do that too. Okay? It's kind of a general idea of how you can do this.
Sir, for our presentation, the syntactical analysis you want us to do from our own analysis or from the any of the translation in from the Bible?
I think you need to, because you have to put your own translation, right? And I want to really see you dealing with your own translation. So do not rely on any English version. Okay, just to stay with what you do.
Okay,
as
thank
your
you, sir.
assignment.
Thank you,
All right.
Doctor.
It's not the end of our synthetical analysis. What we need to do, then we need to put a title. So if we have just this analysis, then how are you going to put the title of each portion? How are you going to do it? Let's do this together. The first idea. How are we going to put the title? Any suggestion? Do not fret because of evil men. Be ambitious of those who do wrong. How are you going to do it? And you need to, in order for you to do it, you need to really look at what belongs to the same level. So do not fret, do not be ambitious, but trust in the Lord. Do good, dwell in the land, and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way to the Lord. Be still, refrain from anger. So I think you need to definitely deal with this main idea separately. If you can find some core idea among them, you combine them, put them together under one title. And how are you going to do this? Any good suggestion? Do not fret because of evil men. Do not be envious of those who do wrong. So it deals with the idea or emotion that your life is affected by the evildoer, right? So you fret. It's a negative feeling, and you are envious, somehow neutral, or you just really jealous. You are jealous then. So what is the idea? Maybe do not be emotionally affected by the evil man's life. Maybe, right? Because you can see that do not fret. Okay. I want to see then do not be influenced by, do not be emotionally, let's say emotionally influenced by life of evil men. Okay?
Gender neutral.
I'm sorry?
It would be better with gender neutral.
Yeah.
No, without evil men, sir. It's evil people.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the suggestion. You are becoming good scholar. I realize that this is a gender issue. So people don't really appreciate if you are using what is gender favored word. But anyway, if you mind it, it's okay. All right, evil people. And then what? Let's move on. That's the main. Let's just focus on the main idea. How are you going to put here? Trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way to the Lord. Be still before the Lord. Wait patiently for Him. Do not fret. So I think this idea deals with all kind of what is it? Do commandments. Then how are you going to divide it? If you cannot see any division among them, it's okay. You just put them together. But can you get any coherence among them? Trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, commit your way to the Lord. Be still before the Lord. Wait. What is the idea? Trust, dwell, enjoy, delight yourself, commit your way, be still, wait patiently, refrain from anger, and turn from wrath. Do not fret. So I think we can make a portion from verse 3 to 7 because 8 deals with another idea of negative commandments. But number 3 and verse 3 to verse 7, they are dealing with a positive commandment. So probably we can broadly make a distinction between them like this. But if you can find any coherence among these three, no, verse 3 to 7, you can put them together. Any suggestion? Let's think about it. I didn't do this. Let's do it together. Trust in the Lord. Do good. Dwell in the land. Enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself. Commit your way. Be still before the Lord. Wait patiently. Do not fret. How am I going to do it? So the first idea is to not be emotionally influenced by the lives of evil people. So then, but do, right? Do not be influenced and then do something. So trust, good, do well, enjoy. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in the Lord. I think it has something to do with the concept, the idea that you are doing something for the Lord. Isn't it? Can you see the idea? It's not simply about doing something, right? We have to do something, but it deals with the Lord. I think this is something that we can see in terms of the core concept. Trust in the Lord, right? And delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way to the Lord. Be still before the Lord. I think this is a really important idea, right? Then I think the title should be, what is it? Put under the idea of do something in relation to the Lord, right? So trust in the Lord. Delight yourself in the Lord. Commit your way to the Lord. Be still before the Lord. So I think do in the presence of the Lord. Do maybe things in the presence of the Lord could be good one. Because in the Lord, to the Lord, before the Lord, deals with the presence of the Lord, right? So if we need to summarize them, I think I can summarize them in this way. Okay? And then you can go, by detail. So let's do things in the presence of the Lord. And let's, okay, Jim? Who was speaking?
So can we make it duties? Duties in the presence of the Lord, or
Do our
it's
duties.
like a commandment? Yes, sir. Duties.
And you can
it's like
highlight
a
the idea
commandment.
of commandments, or you can say, obey God's commandment in the presence of the Lord. I think you can just adapt the idea. But I'm a bit careful, because if we say God's commandment, then it seems to limit the idea to, the Torah. Okay? So I would rather choose a little bit more general idea, maybe. But I don't want to say that you are wrong, Romero. You can develop that kind of idea too. Okay? And what about then? Let's move on. Do not fret here. So refrain from anger. Let's just divide something here. Do not fret. I want to just have, maybe you can start from verse 8, but maybe you can just start from here too. What are you going to say then? Do not fret, refrain from anger, turn from wrath, do not fret. Do not fret. That's the idea, right? Do not fret, refrain from anger, do not fret. It is only to you. How are you going to summarize it? Is there any better idea? I think even you can just adapt the idea. But in terms of having a good summary dealing with the our titles. Let's just start from it. Do not be emotionally influenced by the lives of evil people. Do things in the presence of the Lord. And how are you going to do this then? Do not fret.
Do not envy evil people.
I think it's more than that. What the idea, right? It deals with do not fret, refrain from anger, turn from wrath, do not fret. It deals with kind of feeling of the uncomfortable feeling of anger, right? When you look at the evil people who have the prosperous life, and you are filled with this kind of anger, right? The bad feeling. It's not being jealous. I think it has nothing to do with being jealous here, but it's more dealing with the concept of anger, right? When you say in English, do not fret, here's what is the connotation? Do not fret.
Yeah, I mean, fret is to worry. So you could say, don't worry. I would probably, in this instance, say, don't concern yourself with evil people. Concern kind of covers a lot of bases, you know? That's probably
Yes,
what I
I
would
think
use in this instance.
the idea is that's good. So
Don't concern yourself with.
Do not concern yourself with or about. How are you going to say?
With, yeah, with.
With evil people.
Evil people, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So this provides kind of it helps us to understand the flow of the contents. That is the main purpose of doing syntactical analysis. You can go for the secondary titles here. Okay, you spend some time and just make sure that it's not just about whatever you want to put. When you need to put the title, you need to make sure that the title is broad enough to include all those subordinated idea. Okay, but narrower, what is it? Narrower idea is more preferable. Okay, but when you try to narrow it down to a specific theme, just to make sure that this narrowed title covers whatever belongs to it. Okay, should be narrow but broad enough to include the subordinated idea. Okay, so that's it. So whew, we are done, but you need to do this in Hebrew. So if you don't know what to do with this syntactical analysis, especially in Hebrew, please go back to the specific lesson when we are talking about it in Hebrew. I think it's Genesis chapter 22. You can find it somewhere. I don't know when we did it, but just to go back and find it and you can see it. All right. What could you realize here? When you are reading the passage, as they are, you cannot see the level, which is really important and which is more important, which is the subordinated idea. But when you are doing this, we can see the structure. Do you agree? So it helps us to better understand the passage. Okay, so that's the idea. But sometimes you may just make some minor mistake by jumping your point from, let's say, here. You're dealing with the comparison of the lives of the wicked people, the evil people, and the righteous people. And then you try to explain the intervention of the Lord. And you stay with this level. And you cannot just jump into some of these and dealing with them on the same level. Because that's not what the author is trying to, tell us. Do you understand? I'm not trying to say you cannot do it, but you need to make sure that when you're dealing with this, and then you need to go back to this and then tell the audience and the reader that this is the main idea that they belong to. Why the author, the psalmist, is trying to discuss the life of the evil man and what the Lord is doing and how the righteous people's life will be ending. Why? Because we don't need to be emotionally influenced by the evil lives. And then we need to, but it's not simply about the command of do not, right? But it deals with the concept of do. That's quite important lesson. We can easily focus on the commandments of don't, but it altogether deals with do commandments. Isn't it amazing? Sometimes I was challenged by, what is God's commandment? When God says, do not, hate the people who hate you, right? But you love them. So it deals with this, concept that you don't, so you need to deal with this evil emotion, the bad emotion, but don't stop there. You need to move more and do something more. I think that's Christian spirit. People say, okay, do not commit sin, important, but it rather encourages us to move further. We need to stop sinning, but we need to do and obey God's commandment, loving people, taking care of people, sacrificing our life. So I think this is quite important lesson. So now, look at this. When you are doing all those analysis in terms of syntactical analysis and syntax, textual criticism, and what else? Your own Hebrew analysis and translation, you can see a little different, points there. And then they are all helping you to see something new. And that's why we need to study the passage, biblical passage, utilizing those tools. Okay, I think I'm done today. And I want to give you an assignment. You have to submit your assignment by next Tuesday for the textual criticism part. I believe this time you can do better. Okay, whatever is appearing from verse 1 to 24, you have to include them. Right after this class, I will just give you the number. I think there are some textual criticism issue that are dealing with Greek words. Then I'm not going to ask you to analyze it. Okay, so just pay attention to the numbers that I will give you. Pay attention to what I'm going to write in your Facebook Messenger, and then it should be submitted by Tuesday class. Do you have any question? So what do you need to do? You need to put the given passage, and then you need to interpret it with your own language, okay? And then if you understand what is written there with your own language and utilize the analysis table for textual criticism, for tutor reading, all those things, right? All the reading, and do it, and then let me know what is most likely original text based on your analysis. Okay, and if you can find any exegetical significance, then include it. If you cannot find it, just say there is no any exegetical significance. Is that clear? But one more time, when it comes to the evaluation of which variant leadings is most likely original text, it can be very subjective. So I'm not going to be very picky on that. But what I need to be strict about is your own interpretation of the textual criticism, the first part, okay? Do not simply repeat it. You need to explain it well. Show me that you understand it, okay? Do you have any question? Okay, so let's continue to serve the Lord, and then I'm going to see you on Tuesday, and we are really getting closer to the end of this trimester in terms of the content that we are dealing with. So we are almost done, and I'm quite excited to see your presentation. Okay, I'm sure that we will be blessed by looking at the analysis of our friends' work on their own favorite biblical passages. All right, so please start doing it. And if you have any question, please feel free to contact me. So today's lesson is here until here, and then I'm gonna see you next week. God bless you.
Yes,
Thank you, sir. God bless you.